Hey guys, so today I'm just going to show you two techniques that I use to create tortoiseshell to make polymer clay earrings. So what I'm doing here is just rolling out some translucent clay, and then I'm going to add some alcohol inks. I wanted to do like a warm beige color. So I just add the inks and roll it through my pasta machine until I reach my desired shade. So now that I reached the color that I wanted, I'm going to take some dark brown and some black polymer clay, and I'm going to roll that out really thin. Okay, so now I'm just going to tear off random pieces of both the black and brown. You can just put them in random areas. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You don't have to overthink it. Just tear the pieces off and put them on top of the beige clay. So here I'm just flipping the clay over, and then I'm going to repeat that process on the back side. After that's complete, in the next clip you will see me fold it in half, and then I'm going to go ahead and run it through my pasta machine. Okay, so here I'm just going to repeat the same process, and I feel like the most important part of tortoiseshell is just the layering. So yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I split that slab in half, and I'm just going to show you another technique. So what I'm doing is mixing the colors up. Before I run it through my pasta machine, I like to just make it a little bit easier. So what I'm doing is just rolling it out. I'm going to cut it into pieces, and then I'm going to run it through my pasta machine. But honestly, you don't have to do this. You can skip the step and just put it directly in the pasta machine. It's going to give me another color that I wanted to achieve for the other tortoise shell. Okay, so now that I got the shade that I wanted, we're gonna start out with this next technique of tortoiseshell. So what I'm doing here is I took some more translucent clay. I'm gonna roll that out as well as the brown, the black, and the new color that I created into snakes. It really doesn't matter which size, but I always like to have the translucent piece the thickest. You want to see that the most. Okay, so now you're just going to cut up all of the pieces. Just to keep in mind, make sure that the translucent color is the biggest and thickest pieces that you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop up all the pieces, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now you're just going to combine all those pieces together and just going to put a lot of pressure to make sure they're all squeezed together. And I like to roll them in my hand to make it much easier. Now you're going to slice up your cane, making sure that each piece has the same thickness. And after you cut them out, in the next step, you're going to see that I lay them out flat to create a slab. So here I'm just rolling out the slab, making sure that everything is combined, and then I'm going to go ahead and run it through my pasta machine. Okay, so I've run it through my pasta machine, and honestly, I absolutely love this version of tortoise shell. You'll see later on when I cut out the pieces how nice it ended up looking. I'm just gonna take it into the natural lighting so you guys can see that it really looks like tortoise shell. Just make sure that you can see through it and see the different layers, which I absolutely love. So that one was definitely a go. Okay, so this slab is done. So what I'm going to do is just cut out some shapes with the slab, and I like to dip my cutter into cornstarch so that it doesn't stick to the clay. Okay, so now I'm just going to remove the excess clay. Okay, so now we're just gonna go to the original slab that we created in the beginning, and we're just gonna cut those out as well. When all of the clay pieces are cut, just gonna bake them for 1 hour on 275 degrees Fahrenheit and then let it cool completely. So now that all my clay pieces are cool, I'm just going to drill the holes. What I like to do is I like to make sure that the clay is on top of a piece of wood so that I'm not drilling directly into my table. And I like to use a nail drill. You can use a nail drill or a rotary drill. It honestly does not matter. So I go directly through the clay on a 90-degree angle, and then I flip it over and make sure that I do the same thing on the opposite side. So here I'm just assembling the earrings. It was a little difficult because my nails are long, but yeah, I'm just assembling it. And if you want a more in-depth version of this, I do go more in-depth in my DIY polymer clay jade earrings. Yeah, so you just open up the jump rings, put them through the clay piece, close them up. It's really, really easy. But again, if you want to see it more in depth, check out that other video. Okay, as a bonus, I wanted to just add this in to show you guys how to make a bead link hoop. So what I'm doing is taking a bead, a pearl bead, and I'm gonna put it through the head pin. And then I don't know, I'm going a little slow here because I have the nails, but yeah, I'm gonna slide it through, and then you're gonna take your pliers, and then you're going to put the pliers as close to the bead as possible, making sure that the bead is very flush with the end of the head pin. And then you're going to tilt it on an angle with your hand, as you see I'm doing here. Yep. And then after that, you're going to take the other pliers, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. If you watch it, it's hard for me to explain. So yeah, now I'm going to bend the wire around the circle of the plier tips, as you can see that I'm about to do right now. It's easier to just watch because it's really hard to explain, and it is a little hard to grab a real good grasp on it, so that's what was taking me so long. But yeah, I'm just wrapping the wire around, and then I'm gonna rotate it. Okay, so now that it's in a full circle, you're gonna take the other pliers and you're just gonna twist it around. You're just making sure that the bead is tight and it's not moving up and down on the link. So you're gonna keep twisting it, and when you feel that you reach the bottom almost, I'm gonna take the wire cutters, and I'm gonna cut off the excess and then bend the remaining piece so that the wire is tucked in. And I just want to apologize. I know throughout this portion of the video I am a little out of frame, but I feel like you can still see what I'm doing. So yeah, just watch what I'm doing and you can create this really easily. It's very simple. And like I said before, I'm just cutting off the rest of the wire, and then I'm gonna tuck up the rest, make sure that it's inside and not sticking out. And this way your bead is gonna be flush with the wire and you don't have to worry about it moving around. Okay, so now it's complete. If you don't feel like going through all this trouble, you can actually buy these pre-made. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna continue to assemble the rest of the earring. Okay, so off camera, I tried the same techniques but in different colors. And I actually like how they came out. So yeah, tortoiseshell is different colors of tortoiseshell. So you can just experiment with the colors that you think you will like. And yeah, if you find any easier ways to do the tortoiseshell, please feel free to link a video in a comment, or you can even explain how to do it. But I absolutely like how they came out, and I'm just going to show you here how they look when I put resin over it. They honestly do look like tortoiseshell to me, and I do like how they actually came out. So yeah, I hope you guys found this tutorial very helpful.